So today we're going to look at decimal operations with multiplication. Again, an operation when we're talking about math is addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. So today we're going to be doing multiplication, but we're going to be doing that with decimal numbers. So here's sort of the basic outline in terms of working with decimal numbers in multiplication. One, you got to make sure your numbers are lined up, and you want to have the rightmost digit um, lined up with each other, just like you would in a regular multiplication problem. You multiply like normal, you count the number of digits behind, aka to the right of the decimal, and once you count those places, you just add your decimal. So that's a really, really fast overview. But looking at our example for our step one, when we're lining it up, you could see that we have 3 and 77 hundredths, and we have 2 and 8 tenths. The first one has 2 decimal places, and the second one has 1 decimal place, but we are still lining them up by their last decimal place. And that's super duper important. If we don't do that, we can get all kinds of crazy answers. So just make sure that you follow step number 1 first and foremost. So let's look at this. We're going to find the product, and if we don't remember what a product is, it is a answer to a multiplication problem of 15 hundredths and 36. So we would say 36 times 15 hundredths. So we're going to take this exactly like we would if they were whole numbers. If we said 36 times 15, we're going to kind of imagine that that's what we're looking at, and we're going to multiply the exact same way. So first we're going to say 5 times 6 is 30. We carry our 3. We say 6 times 1 is 6, plus 3 is 9, and then we have that 0 to keep track of, so 6 times 0 is 0. And then we're going to add our placeholder, and we're going to multiply our second set of numbers with the 3. So 3 times 5 is 15, we carry our 1. 3 times 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4, and then we multiply our 0. And then we add it together. So we end up with 0,540. But this is not our answer. We've got a whole second step that we have to take care of. And we have to count the decimal places in both of our factors and then place that the same number of places from the right. And so only one of our factors between 36 and 15 hundredths actually has a decimal, and that's the 15 hundredths. So we're going to look at that, and that's got 2 places. So what I mean by places is we've got our decimal, and then we've got 1 place, and then we've got 2 places. Okay? So you're literally saying, hey, from where my decimal is, if I start counting numbers to the right, I got 1, I've got 2. Now 36, I don't have any. So in total, I've got 2 places that I need to move my decimal. So when I do that and I move my decimal to 2 places, the answer that I end up getting is 5 and 40 hundredths. So we place our decimal between the 5 and the 4. But what if we multiply a number that has a decimal by another number that has a decimal? Believe it or not, this is almost exactly the same set of steps that we did in the first problem. So we're going to multiply our starting number. So we're going to multiply by 3. And so 3 times 4 is 12. We carry our 1. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. So we got 72. And then we add our 0 because we're moving over in place value. And then we've got 1 times 4 is 4. And then 2 times 1 is 2. And then we add it together. So 0 plus 2 is 2. 7 plus 4 is 11. Carry the 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. And we end up with 312. But we still have to account for our decimals. So just like we did in the last question, we've got a decimal here with 1 place. And then we've got a decimal here with 1 place. So in total, we've got 2 places that we need to move our decimal. So we start from the right, you go 1, 2, and that's where we add our decimal. And then in the end, we're going to end up with 3 and 12 hundredths. Okay, 3 and 12 hundredths.